The price of Bitcoin is $26,827. It has dropped a little bit overnight. When you look at the current price of Bitcoin, it dropped a little bit and now it's bouncing back to the upside. Of course, the question is at this point, why is Bitcoin dominance rising so fast? Why is Ethereum's Bitcoin value falling? And why does the US dollar continue to rise at the same time as Tether investing 15% of realized profit in Bitcoin here forth? Now, if you understand how much money Tether made in Q4 of last year, they made a lot of money to Tether in Q4 of last year. Tether in Q4 of last year made $700 million. A lot of money. Don't know how they make $700 million, but they did. And basically, they're going to start investing 15% of that profit into Bitcoin. To answer the question as to why Bitcoin continues to pump, well, essentially, it's pretty simple, really. The Tether news is basically causing more people to buy Bitcoin because they think, well, last time Tether started buying Bitcoin, what happened to the price of Bitcoin? Well, last time Tether started buying Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin rose up very significantly. Bitcoin's price rose up from about $200 all the way to $20,000. That's why people are excited about this news right now. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be analyzing the price of Bitcoin, analyzing the price of Ethereum, telling you about my current open trades, and of course, we're going to be looking at today's cryptocurrency news. If you wouldn't mind, do drop a like on this video. I would really appreciate it. Let's try and get 700 likes. We failed yesterday, but we can try again today. Do drop a like on it. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel, especially if you're new. You've not seen me on the internet before. My name's Jordan. I own Crypto Saving Expert. And at the same time as doing that, I also make videos about my own crypto investing here on YouTube. So join the journey, slap a like, subscribe, and let's crack straight on with this Bitcoin analysis video. Now, first of all, on the 15-minute chart, yes, Bitcoin has been rising up, not very significantly, but it's a nice little bounce that we've had off the bottom. If we measure bottom to top right now, it's up around 1% from the bottom. What does that mean? Again, we're on the 15-minute chart right now. What does this mean? It means diddly squat. It means really nothing. If you look on the chart right now, we don't have a lot of liquidity in this zone and Bitcoin can range out in this zone. It doesn't mean an awful lot. However, that Tether news has been, of course, helping the price of Bitcoin. If we look at Bitcoin on a slightly higher time frame, this is the 1 hour time frame, we can see that Bitcoin is potentially looking like it's going to bounce off of this support level here. If we're looking at this and we're analyzing, look, where are these lower levels of support? We can see that we have a lower level of support here, and it would suggest that, look, if we get a significant bounce out of here and we break above the resistance level that is currently sitting here, which is at $27,000. Basically $27,000, $26,900. We break above $26,900, we break back into the next range, and then at that point in time, you would expect Bitcoin is going to go megaform pattern to the upside, and will probably come back up and kind of reach the highs up here again. It would make sense for this to be the pattern, essentially, that we'd be following right now, given what the volume profile looks like. It's more likely that you get sucked towards this control line here on the chart. And once you're at that control line, it's more likely that then you would start trending to the upside. The downside to watch on Bitcoin right now would be a failure at the level of $26,700. What would that mean for Bitcoin? Well, it would mean that we go and revisit these lows here. If we were to look at how low Bitcoin could potentially get, you're looking at low $26,000 levels, and at low $26,000 levels, I become a significant Bitcoin bull again. At the moment, I'm not a significant Bitcoin bull. I think that Bitcoin is more so bullish than bearish, given, of course, recent price action, because ever since we hit this $31,000 level up here, we've been trending to the downside. But when you zoom out on this chart right now and go over to the daily chart on Bitcoin, yes, we've been trending downwards for about a month, but at the same time, it is likely that we have a bounce to the upside sometime soon. And if we were to be plotting this outwards, you could see that essentially this could potentially be a pretty strong bull flag formation. We just do not want to lose the lower levels here at the low $26,000 range. We lose that low $26,000 range, we drop back down into this range right here, and that would take us back down to about $25,000. And I know there's a lot of people expecting that they'll be able to buy Bitcoin at $25,000. I wouldn't write that off. I'd keep that in mind. That could potentially happen at some point in the future, not too distant future. But at the same time, how is Ethereum going to perform versus Bitcoin? Because now we've assessed what Bitcoin is doing. Well, when it comes to Bitcoin dominance, we can see that Bitcoin is looking pretty strong compared to Ethereum right now. The past couple of hours or so, it has been rallying significantly to the upside. This has caused Ethereum's Bitcoin value to drop off again, even though I was expecting a rise up. Well, that rise up is now over, and now it's coming back down again. A little bit unfortunate, but again, I'm not in any serious size of trade trade yet. I'm waiting to open a trade because I think there will be a trade to be had on Ethereum fairly soon. If Ethereum can break through its resistance level, which is a kind of along just above where that purple line is. If we can get just above that purple line, we should get sucked up to the control line up here, and that should mean a nice little pump on the value of Ethereum. But at the same time, how is Ethereum's US dollar value looking? Well, currently is $1,797. At $1,797, it's on the edge of a bit of a breakdown, is Ethereum, unfortunately. If we look at the hourly chart right now, you can see that if we were to lose the level here, the low level of $1,788, then we start chasing the downside again. And then when we start chasing the downside, the next low target will be around $1,744. If we lost that level at $1,744 and come off the 1 hour chart over to the daily chart, I'm able to show you what would happen. We lose that level, which is this level right here at 1,744, then it's likely that we would come down and have a bullish retest on the outside of this kind of extended range of trading here. That wouldn't surprise me, but I would be looking to then go long on Ethereum around these levels here, which would be around $1,666. Being that we are kind of in prep for another bull market because of how close Bitcoin halving is getting. If we look at this, Bitcoin halving is here. If we look at how long it's going to take for Bitcoin halving, it's 326 days away, April the 7th, 2024. That's going to be the day of the Bitcoin halving. After the Bitcoin halving has taken place, we will get another bull market. It is inevitable. So you've got basically 1 year to stack as much Bitcoin and Ethereum as possible, or at least this is my perspective and this is what I'm doing. It's not financial advice, of course. Do your own research, all that good stuff. But my plan at this moment in time is stack as much Bitcoin, stack as much Ethereum, and try and spend as little money as possible over the course of the next year. Bit difficult, being that I do run Crypto Saving Expert and I do go and race cars for a hobby. They're not the cheapest things to do, but you know, no more fancy cars and whatnot. Just get rid of them all and buy Bitcoin. I will be doing that. I am actually selling my Rolls Royce at the moment. If anybody wants to buy it, it's £165,000, you know. I'm going to buy Bitcoin with the proceeds from that and maybe a Ferrari. I can't decide whether I want Bitcoin or Ferrari more. Maybe a Ferrari for summer and then Bitcoin after summer. We'll see. Either way, the DXY is starting to just get rejected at these levels here. It is a slight concern if the DXY keeps rallying up in price. This is the hourly chart, but if we flip over to the daily chart, the one thing that concerns me slightly about the DXY right now would be we had this long-term downtrend that had been intact since October of last year. However, come flash forward to May of this year, we have broken that downtrend this month. You can see this purple line going to the downside. Now, being that we've broken that downtrend, not all hope is lost, but I mean, it looks more so likely it could go up a little bit more before then dropping further to the downside. At the same time, there is other levels, and you can read into this any which way you want. My perspective is this year, the US dollar is going to continue to look like it's been slapped. And next year, as Bitcoin starts rallying upwards, we're going to see this getting slapped even harder and harder to the downside. As I said before, it's inevitable at some point soon, we break to the downside of this white line. When we break to the downside of this white line, if I'm to zoom out on this chart, this white line acted as support since 2011, 2014, 2018, 2020, we lost that support during the bull market. The bull market ended at this point here on the chart. Then we had a huge crypto bear market, and now it looks like we're heading back to the downside on the DXY. So from my perspective, the DXY is on borrowed time. It is more of a matter of time as to when it starts dropping to the downside, but I'll be keeping you up to date here on the channel, so make sure you do drop a like on it and subscribe. Now, the next thing that we need to discuss in today's video is, of course, the crypto news, of which we've got Tether to invest 15% of realized profit into Bitcoin. The largest stablecoin issuer, Tether, has announced it would start buying Bitcoin as part of an investment strategy to strengthen further and diversify its reserve portfolio. I find this particularly interesting purely because, as I mentioned at the start of today's video, back in 2017, Tether, when they were not as legit as what they are now, they would just print stable coins out of nothing, go and buy a bunch of Bitcoin with it, and that'll pump the price of Bitcoin. Now Tether is a legit stable coin, and they have legit reserves because they made a bunch of money on Bitcoin, dumped it to zero again, and then they made themselves backed. From my perspective, again, my opinion, all that stuff that helps me not get sued for saying that. Now, I believe that Tether is going to do the same thing again. I believe that we are gearing up for a huge Bitcoin bull market whereby Bitcoin's price goes into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I believe that this will be a significant contributor as we see a constant rise in stablecoin adoption. If you want to read more about this stuff, go to cryptosavingexpert.com, make an account, and you can get all sorts of free courses, free guides, all this lovely stuff. It's all completely free. If you want to learn more about margin trading, Bitcoin, Trading 101, blockchain basis, or Crypto 101, go on this website right now. But at the same time as all that, we do have how to make your own meme coin course coming out for people that want to learn a bit of code. And at the same time, we've got a how to make your own NFT course coming out. So those two are both in development. I think there's 2 more courses going on the website this week. So keep an eye out for those. Make an account. It's all free. I don't want your money for this stuff. I'm not that guy that comes to you and says, can I have $1,000 please to tell you how to get rich? And that guy gets rich by selling you a course for $1,000. I want it to not be that person, hence why everything is free. It's working out against me a little bit from a business side because it does mean that it's much more difficult to make money when you don't charge for everything. So yeah, we've got 40 employees. So go on, help me out, subscribe, make an account on cryptosavingexpert.com. I would appreciate it. We do give away up to $3,000 every single month. Now back to the news. Ethereum risks losing 1,800 despite staked Ethereum hitting an all-time high of 21.8 million. From my perspective, it is only a matter of time until Ethereum starts rallying significantly. Ledger is under fire amid controversial seed recovery phrase update. If you're not familiar with this, basically Ledger is now making it so that you can put your ID on the platform, and because they always want you to KYC anyway, they say, look, KYC your wallet, and then if you send us your passport, then we'll give you the private key if you've lost your private key. This is a huge issue because it's a huge security flaw. It means that now Ledger is no longer a decentralized wallet. It means it's a centralized wallet because they've got access to your key. Ledger has been hacked in the past. They leaked users' emails, addresses, phone numbers, all these kinds of things, and they were all sold on the dark web, and then people were hacked. They lost millions and millions of dollars in this hack. So don't use a Ledger. If you want to know the best cryptocurrency wallet to be using right now, again, go to cryptosavingexpert.com, and if we go over to the news section right now, we should have an article open here on the news section that tells you 5 of the best hardware wallets available right now in the crypto space. Now, from my perspective, the absolute unequivocal best wallet that you can get right now is this one right here. So go on the article, read up about it, and let me know what you think in terms of what is the best hardware wallet in your opinion. Now, one of the, I think, is this the final? No, we've got, this is the final story today. Or was this one it? This is the final story today. Bad management caused BlockFi's failure. Basically, according to creditors, we all know that. We all know that BlockFi was horrendous at managing those funds, and you know, BlockFi. Everybody lost a bunch of money in it. I didn't, never used it. They kept on offering me money for sponsorship at the time. Always turned it down. I was like, how are you guys generating interest? They're like, oh, well, we put money in Celsius. Okay, so you're one company just using another company to generate profit. And it didn't go well in the end for BlockFi. All of the users lost their money. And now the courts have ruled that all of the money that is left in BlockFi belongs to BlockFi, not the users. So it gets worse for everybody that deposits in these platforms. So be careful. Make sure you use your cryptocurrency wisely on the internet. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.